Hey, fellow Riblets, it's me, Tom from Target Prime Rib. Another exciting Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I am here with my very good friend, Barbara Touche, Grandma Barbara, and this is an exciting day for us because we get to talk about so many things. One being her story, and I'm sure we have a lot of questions to ask. Speaking of questions, I did ask one question in the chats, which I know Terry Sue answered it already, but I asked, since Barbara does her crocheting and I do my drawings, or at least I'm starting to go back to my drawings, does anybody have a hobby that they do? So, and if yes, what is that hobby that you do? Okay, and yes, you can say crocheting too. Barbara's not holding it in drawing. We're not holding the the pillar for those things. So just put in the chats which one you like, which ones you do, and what helps you relax. So I see another star of the show, Baby. Baby's hiding under the Okay, so we got a lot of people in the chat so far. We got about 11 people, but I'm sure it's going to grow. And just look for the bouncing ball to find out where we're at. So, Grandma, before we go on to your story, hey baby, how you doing?
He's trying to go down my shirt.
Just let her go. Yeah.
Shoot. I had a feeling that was going to happen. Wait, what was the question?
I'm surprised you didn't just have her go in there beforehand. So then we
I'm
could
trying to stop
her. So, one of the things that you've been doing a lot lately is your songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I have one that I'm going to play that you just put out. But what inspired you to do those songs, and how long have you been doing it? Even longer than the Carnivore Journey? Like, have you always done this, or?
When I was a teenager, I used to write stories constantly. I used to keep a journal. I used to write poems. And in college, I used to write. I loved writing. I've written different novels in the past, but I just never put them out there. So yeah, and then I stopped for multiple years, and I just started back up because of someone in my nightly lives suggested I should write a song about my younger self. Not a song, write a letter to my younger self. And instead of a letter, I wrote a poem, and that song is "Field of Daisies." That is on. So that was actually my first song, and then I found through Amy Suno, and I started putting the poems in Suno.
Okay. So before we go on, we'll play the one song for you, and let's add it to the stage. Oh, look at that! We got us. We're a little on the side. I never did that before. All right, so let me go there, and I'm going to start playing it, and just tell me if you guys can hear it or not. Can you hear it?
I can.
We were young and running wild, chasing dreams down county lines. Didn't know what we were building, just knew your hand fit right in mine. We had fire and we had fury, we had nothing but belief. Two hearts swinging at the future with more hope than relief. Every mile, every fight, every wrong we made right. steady and true. It don't fade with the seasons, it don't break under strain. It just rises like thunder after standing in the rain. Yeah, the years made us bolder, they didn't steal our pride. Love only grows stronger with time. We've stood in stormy weather, backs against the wind, held on through the hard nights when the cracks set in. But we never dropped the anchor, never walked away. We just turned up the volume when the world tried to sway. Through the scars, through the flames, we came out unchanged. Love only grows stronger the longer I've known you. Like steel under pressure, breaking straight through. It don't rust, it don't wither, it don't lose its shine. It just hits like a heartbeat every single time. Yeah, the years made us wiser, they didn't dim the light. Love only grows stronger every night. No lightning strike needed, no spot from the blue. Just the power of standing right here with you. We don't need perfect, we don't need new, we just need forever. And that's me and you. Oh, love only grows stronger the longer I've known you. From reckless beginnings to a love that broke through. It don't fade, it don't shatter, it don't lose its rhyme. It just gets louder with time. Yeah, we're still burning brighter, still climbing that climb. Love only grows stronger with time.
Yeah, it sounded a little rough,
Wow.
so I don't know if it's it might be my speakers.
What happened?
I said it sounded a little muffled to me, but it might have been my speakers.
Oh, did it? If it sounded muffled, I thought it was good. I didn't.
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah.
probably my speakers. One of these keeps going out on me.
I mean, either that or maybe, is it not your music? And maybe you thought like it just sounded like, like gibberish. No, I thought it was really good.
Thank you.
I mean, it's longer than your normally your music seems to be like 3 minutes and 50 seconds, like between 3.5 to 4.5 minutes.
Yeah,
This was a little bit closer, almost 6 minutes. So,
yeah, that's one of the longer ones.
yeah, but it's still worth it, and now it's, so I got one person answer my question, So we'll answer that really quickly. It's George good enough for all of us? Horse racing, fishing, rugby, golf, running, all hobbies that were passions of mine are
Oh,
all gone now. My life is 100% the carnivore way, meetups, interviews, Zoom calls, research, and spreading the word. Okay. Well, for I would think that would be more of your occupation than your you know
unless he finds
than
it real fun and relaxing.
your and Terry Sue said it sounded okay over here, but
Okay,
that's
so
my specific type of music.
yeah, that's my speakers.
That's okay. I mean, Barbara does a lot of different styles.
Yeah.
So it might not all be even her.
My style would be the soft rock and
Okay.
country, but I've had people say, "Don't you ever do classic '80s type rock
Or jazz like
or
Mitch.
jazz like Mitch?" So I just try to mix it up. But I like the softer opera, country, you know.
Ooh, and Aaron gives us a little piece of gossip. The lady I knew works at the doctor's office. She told me there's this new variant of COVID that's really bad, and the people keep coming back and not getting better. And she wasn't supposed to tell.
Wow.
I won't tell anybody, Aaron, if I can't speak for Barbara, but I won't say a word to
I'm
anybody.
gonna spread it all over creation.
Yeah, if anybody says anything, Aaron, they did not hear it from me.
I'm gonna make a song. There's a song in that.
Well, I was actually thinking what would be a good song that you could probably create that's pretty good was the story that I was telling you the other day. I think I mentioned it to you a couple times. My aunt, my father's one of 9 children. Okay. And my aunt lived, I guess not too far from Aaron. She lived in Tennessee somewhere. And they lived in an old farmhouse, like really old, like 5-bedroom farmhouse and everything. And they had a great room that they never used with a huge fireplace. And I was about maybe 3, and my sister was like, we were both walking, but my sister was not, like, she was probably like Rocky's age, and I was about like maybe 3, like she was about maybe 1.5. Well, Rocky's 3 now, so I was about Rocky's age, and my sister was probably like 1.5, like 1.5, 2, and I was probably about like 3.5. And there used to be this. My aunt had this big black cat that always hung out in that room. Always hung out in the dark. You could hardly see. All you saw was the cat on the fireplace, on the ledge of the fireplace. And one day, me and my sister wanted to run up and pet it because it's a cat, of course. Right. And my aunt and my mom and my dad, everybody pretty much ran and grabbed us as quickly as possible to keep us from going inside with the cat. Now, I don't remember too much, but my mom's telling me this story and everything like that, and my sister obviously doesn't remember either. But long story short, when the cat turned around, instead of having yellow eyes like most cats have, it had red eyes.
Ooh.
And we found out that this big cat, about this big, was a rat.
Oh my goodness.
So, but ended up what happened was it just doesn't bother anybody. They throw some food in there to give it some, to feed it. And it just hangs out and they don't use that room. It just hangs out in that room. It doesn't bother anybody. They don't bother it.
And it was you said your grandfather's?
No, my aunts, my
Your
father's
aunt.
Yeah, my father's sister. And they used to, I mean, they even had a bull, an actual bull.
Oh my goodness.
one time. So yeah,
I'm
she
surprised it didn't
passed away
burrow
since
its way
then.
through the walls, and unless
Yeah.
it just really liked it there.
It just, I guess it came in through the fireplace and just never left. And I, like when I thought about it, I'm like, that, that'd be a really, I think Barbara could create something with that, you know. So like down the road, the rat that everybody thought was a cat or something like that.
There's potential there. There is
Yes.
potential.
So I'm giving it to you.
You're giving it to me.
I'm giving it to you. It's all yours.
I
I
read my book.
don't want any don't want any credit for it or anything. Just there it is. So, all right. So, I'm like, again, I'm like really excited to be interviewing you and Baby. When Baby gets a chance, I do want to interview Baby for the, see if she's going to be doing any debates or anything like that with any other candidates for mayor. But so let's talk about Baby a little bit. How long have you had Baby?
I've had Baby now for a little over 2 years.
Okay, and she's
About 3
like
years.
she's a service animal, but
She's my emotional service.
emotional support. That's the word. I couldn't think of the word, so I was like,
Yeah, my emotions, my anxiety was through the roof, and
Of
I was
course.
told I could have emotional support, and she became it.
Yeah, I wish my apartment allowed pets because I wouldn't mind having a little dog like that. I love cats. No offense, Lewis. I do. Anybody that loves cats, I love cats.
I love cats.
However, I
I
get
just can't
along
have-
with dogs more. Okay,
Yeah,
but and right now I'm trying to get myself busier with work and stuff like that. So until I get myself into a control and I know exactly how to take care of things, then I'll think about getting a cat. But until I can start working full time and and we all know too, I want to be able to make sure that if I have a roommate and I go away, that I can trust that they're going to take care of.
yeah.
Because my last roommate, I had a bird, and all she had to do was like just give it some water and some food, and she couldn't even do that, and the thing ended up dying under her care. So I'm very, very, like if I can't take care of it fully, then, maybe when I retire, I'll get a cat. Maybe I'll get a cat and a dog, and teach them how to get along.
I want a cat, but I just can't have one. Everyone's allergic.
You're the only one that's not?
Yeah, I'm not. Everyone else is. All my kids, my husband now, they're all allergic. It's like it's unfair.
Mm. Well, what if you get one of those hairless cats? Is it the hair?
That's what I was thinking, but my daughter is allergic to the dander.
Oh, and it's on the skin. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Did you ever see the skinless cat?
no, I've seen pictures, of course, and I've always thought, I wonder if I could.
There is a video. I don't know if it's Dr. Chafee's video or his fiance's, Ella or whatever her name is. But they have a cat that's a hairless cat.
Oh.
And there's a video of the cat, a short of the cat eating raw meat.
I think I might have seen that.
Yeah. It's
That sounds familiar.
it's pretty gruesome, and it's like watching a car accident, it's like you don't really want to see it because you're like, okay, what's going to happen, but yet you're still like, yeah. My grandparents used to be really bad at that.
I'm blinded
on the street.
by anything when I'm watching Dr.
Right.
Chafee.
Well, my grandparents used to be really bad because whenever there was an ambulance that went down the street, they'd be the first ones to put the lawn chairs out in the front porch and watch the ambulance go by and see what's going on. I'm like, getting old must be boring. I'm sorry. If you guys are enthralled by an ambulance, like you guys become lawyers and become ambulance chasers. George says that he's seen the hairless Sphinx cats at the local cat shows.
Oh,
So
I've never seen one in person, just on videos. And
yeah. Jen said that she heard that the hairless cats don't have dander.
oh,
So if that's true, maybe it's something you should look into.
yeah.
What would your family think though if you brought home a hairless cat?
They think I was crazy.
Would
They
they be
think I'm crazy anyway.
It's because we're allergic. Why
Makes
would you
me 5 years old. I should be able to have a hairless cat if I wanna.
Actually, the cat and baby would look so funny together.
Baby would get so jealous. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, no, I know.
She is such a jealous dog.
So why do I have a feeling though that if you had a hairless cat, you would probably crochet a sweater for it?
Probably, yeah. And hopefully she'd wear it because baby goes and runs and hides. I think she's hiding the sweater that I did get for her because I can't find that sucker anywhere. I know she's hiding it.
She ate it, right?
Yeah.
So okay. So I'm looking. Oh, we got a few more people in here. Tammy Golf is here.
Hello.
And we got Spanky in the house.
Spanky.
And we got Kitchen Witch, Tanya, my carnivore sister.
I see Steadfast.
Steadfast is here. Sharon, yeah. And I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but Lainey is here too, George's other half.
Hello, Lainey.
And we can't forget Mason. Mason is here.
Course,
Hey,
Mason.
Jen E., which mentioned about the dander, is here.
Oh, okay.
Booby Goats is here, which I think I mentioned that before, but just in case. We got according to the thing, we got 22 people in the chats.
Oh, okay.
Which is, we got Tammy Waiting 6051.
Okay, I know.
And it says here she's almost to the church. We'll check back later. But before I saw it, where she said she's cleaning the church.
Yeah.
I hope that you're not cleaning it alone, Tammy. I hope people are helping you.
Nothing worse than a stinky cat.
Smoothie Amazon. All right, cool. I just wanted to get through all of them. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot I made Jen a mod. I forgot all about that. And I think you're a mod too, aren't you?
I don't know. I haven't been in your channel lately to see if I am.
Well, all you have to do is just go onto YouTube and say hello and we'll find out.
Oh, I'd have to connect. I don't want to bother doing that.
Okay. Well, you could always do it another time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jerry. She's saying to stream, thumbs up everyone to stream. All right. And we're just doing this on YouTube, but I did put a post out on Instagram and Facebook. So if anybody's here from there, just let me know and say, hey, I'm your high school friend from back when. All right. So without further ado, we heard your great song. You do a lot of great songs. How many do you do a week, would you say?
Probably about 20. Now, mind you, I have about 200 on my channel. I had a lot of poems and stories that I had written prior in notebooks, so I've been going through them and then putting them into Suno. So some of them have already been written. The only ones that weren't really, or I might have turned into, are all the carnivore ones. Some of the poems that had to do with the emotions, like my anxiety and stuff, those there came from already written poems for the most part. And then I just added a little bit. But I didn't really write too many, just here and there when I was lonely or bored. Okay. It's only been recently that I've been going crazy. To the point my family wants to do an intervention thinking I'm crazy, that I'm having mental issues because I'm writing myself.
We were talking about that yesterday a little bit.
Yeah,
So, that's crazy. I mean, isn't it funny how you're doing all this improvement? You're walking out there now. And I can relate, and yet they still tell you that there must be something wrong.
yeah,
Like your carnivore diet is crazy. What does it take for anybody to just see the light? Like my roommates a couple of times called me crazy, and you know, and everything, and look at, like I don't want to talk about him too much, but I mean he's in a rehab right now. Supposedly he has the flu, which I think it's more than the flu, and he was under quarantine for about a week or so.
I wonder if he had that COVID, that new strand going on.
That's
That would
strange.
explain why he was under
I mean,
quarantine.
either he did not understand them, and he just like thought, oh, just the flu. I'll just say the flu, or he's just telling me that he had the flu and it was actually COVID, and for whatever reason, But I also think too, what it is he probably has a weaker immune system. They
Yeah,
probably did some blood work on him, found out that he has a really weak immune system, so they put him under quarantine while he had the flu. And then as it got better and everything seemed to be okay, then they took him out of quarantine. And now they're working with him on physical therapy, and they're working with him on occupational therapy. Because I mean, there's so many things out there that it's like, okay, why are you not knowing how to do these things? Like, why are you having a hard time doing these things? And it's a shame. It really is. But no, Terry Sue, I haven't really talked to them at all. They're supposed to call me if anything comes up. But I mean, technically, I'm not really family. So if they feel that I need to know anything, then that's up to the family, And they're only probably knowing what he tells them anyway. They'd probably be better off talking to the doctor or talking to the staff and finding out what's going on. Whether or not they're smart, whether or not they're clever enough to do that is a different story. But no, again, I'm not, talking about him per se, but it's just, like I had the flu. We all know I had the flu, but I never had to go to the hospital. I never had to go into quarantine. 90% of us probably in the chats here probably had the flu of some sort or another, and we dealt with it. We were bad, and then we, like even halfway through the flu, I still was working. I still did.
yeah.
And
So far, I've been good so far.
yeah, and and we're a lot more resilient now. And so it's kind of crazy how your family thought you were crazy for doing carnivore when you're doing so much better than you were a year ago.
Yeah.
It's just
Considering they had to help shower me, they had to help dress me, put on my shoes, everything. Help me walk. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They had to cook for me. They had to clean my house because I couldn't do it. They had to do everything. And now I'm up walking around. I can dress myself. So,
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I can think of, like, I don't think they wanted to wipe your butt. Okay. But
they do. Come on.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? What sounds crazy is there was one thing I did miss. I didn't miss taking care of my mom. Okay. I missed my mom in the general sense. But what I really did miss too was being needed.
Yeah.
And, unfortunately, I would have rather, if I didn't need to be needed, I'd rather have had it where it was your situation where you got better. But, like that's really bad, But I think that maybe that's what's bothering. Like maybe they, not the certain things, but maybe the generalization that, like when it was time, they really didn't want to do it. But then when all of a sudden you did not need them anymore or as much, it became, oh, okay, what's going on here? There's something wrong here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm sure that if you still needed them, they'd be like, oh my God, you're always needing us. You're always needing us. But as soon as it ended, it was like, well, why doesn't she need us anymore? There's something wrong.
Well, they're seeing them doing better to some degree, because the reason why my daughter moved in here when we bought this house, she moved in with us to help take care of me.
Right.
You know, and when I've fallen, I needed help getting up because I've fallen a few times. Now she's talking about perhaps getting her own place. You know, whereas before she felt, no, mom needs me, I have to stay. So they are seeing that I don't need them and that it's okay to continue on with your life.
And Jen is saying, bye, Barb, bye, Thomas. I'm sorry, Jen, that you have to get going, but I hope you watch the replays. But before Jen goes, Jen was mentioning before that I have a nice shirt, and I wore this shirt special just for you, Barb, because I know how much you like Bill. So I wrote.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
Yeah, I wore my Bill and Daisy T-shirt. So it shrunk a little bit on me, but you know, it'll get back to. So I don't know why Tammy Golf is mentioning Jersey Shore. Maybe somebody asked her where she lives. I don't know. Yeah, she doesn't live too far from me. That's why we're actually going to a dinner. Me, Tammy, and then we're going to be meeting Lewis in New Jersey at at sort of a mini meetup. Which is going to be a lot of fun. And Terry Girl's saying, I have a huge void after taking care of my mom for 7 years. I find myself pacing a lot. Yeah. I hate to say it, Terry Sue, but the void doesn't really go away, but the pacing does. You find other things to do and stuff like that, but you're always going to be thinking about, you know, she's always going to be in the back of your head, so to speak. So, and Sharon says, I'm in Delaware. It's ridiculous outside. So I'm guessing you're inside. So I'm hoping you're happy to be inside, Sharon. Because if it's ridiculous outside, don't go outside. It's simple as that. Charlie, Uncle Charlie, he went to a wedding last night, and I was full. Oh, let's finish. It was full of carnivore, but at Venetian are 8.5 a gallon of chocolate ice cream. I hope you didn't eat all that ice cream in one shot there, Uncle Charlie, or you shared it with all the guests. Because that would be bad if you ate all that ice cream by yourself.
Ah, that sounds good, though.
It does. It does. So I'm going to make us bigger so our heads like pop out, you know. All right. So what made Barbara carnivore?
Ooh.
What led to you know, to your story?
Well,
what led to your
pretty much I hit the bottom of the pit. You know, there was no place else to go except for dig deeper and death, you know, die. You know, that was what I was looking at. All my life I was big. I just kept getting bigger and bigger. I tried different diets. Different diets didn't work. I mean, I tried them all, you name it, I've done it. I was a smoker. I had like multiple mini strokes, and I had a blockage in my neck that was 95% blocked. And that's why I was having my strokes. I had gone blind. I was having hundreds of seizures, constantly having seizures where my heart would even stop. And I came out, and when I left there, they said they did do surgery. I had 25% chance to live. I got through that, and they said you cannot eat any more fat, no more fat. That's why you have a blockage. You eat any more foods with fat or smoke, that's gonna it's gonna block up again and you're gonna die because now your artery is super small. So no more fat, no more smoking. I quit smoking and immediately, and I also figured I'd have to eat vegan all my life, right? No fat. So I went on fat-free diet. But I just kept getting sicker and sicker and sicker. I couldn't do it. It's just, well, you heard about the brown rice story. I'm not going to get into that, but I, that happened, and again, I got to the point where I was gaining weight. I was unable to walk. I was pretty much bedridden. I would fall all the time. I had a growth about this big that just kept getting bigger and bigger between my legs, so I couldn't walk. I had a hard time walking. I walked like I just got off a horse, straddling, waddling back and forth, and the thing would sway and I would fall. So I got to a point where I was just so depressed. My blood pressure was sky high. We're talking 300 over 200 type of stuff on 3 different high blood pressure meds. Anxiety was through the roof. I couldn't even leave my house. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. I didn't dare to even look at people. I stayed hidden in this dark room with my yarn and crocheted and just waited to die. I made plans with all my kids. This is what I want you to do. I want to be cremated. I want my ashes brought back to Maine and blow them over the ocean. And I waited, but I was waiting, but I was thinking of killing myself just to end it because I was in so much pain and the depression was so bad. But as I sat here and going through YouTube, I came across.
Take your time.
I came across Bill Knotts with Carrie Mann, and that pretty much changed my life to where I am now. It put me on course again. I decided that day, and I gave it, a 2-day thought, that's going to kill me, but I'm going to die anyway. So I'm going to take my chances. And for 1.5 years now, I've been taking my chances. If that kills me, at least I will have died happy and doing the things I want to do in life. And pretty much my life has changed. And this time I've decided that I had to just do it in front of other people and found a great community. And if I had found all of you guys, I wouldn't be here. I know I wouldn't.
Did you expect to cry?
I cry every time I tell that part of the story.
Oh, God. We love you, Barbara.
So Bill might have, put that spark in me, but it's everybody that got me through. It's not just Bill. It's everybody.
Now, would you say, did you know somewhat about carnivore keto before? Even
a little more through
here and there?
More through the Atkins route, because I did the Atkins diet, and I was looking up more things about Atkins. So I touched a little bit with keto, but not the whole.
Is there any certain person that you looked at before Bill? I know Bill inspired you to come.
I did the intermittent fasting route with
Dr. Fung.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I.
And then through that route, I thought.
Yeah, before, the carnivore route was when I was with, Carrie Mann was probably the first person I contacted, like where there was a communication, and then eventually Bella and everything like that. But I've told my story about my mom being influenced by Dr. Barry and by Bella. It was the only way I can get her to.
So Carrie Mann probably has influenced a great deal of us.
Yeah.
It trickles down.
It's a chain link fence if you think about it.
Yes, it is. It's a chain of inspiration, isn't it?
It is, because wasn't Bill
Bill was
influenced
one of by
like Michaela
Mary Ann.
Peterson, you know, and if you go even like more of a chain, you know, you have
It was Dante that got
got
Carrie on board.
Carrie, right? And if you go even more, Michaela, well, yeah, Michaela influenced her father, Jordan, and then Jordan influenced Carrie.
Carrie influenced Bill Nye.
Dante, and then Dante influenced Carrie, and then Carrie influenced
Bill.
Bill Knott, and Bill Knott influenced you. And then you get like little branches coming up because Carrie, like I said, Carrie really didn't influence me. He just influenced me to do to go into the YouTube and the carnivore and stuff.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to get my diet straight little by little. But I just don't count it until I became full carnivore. I just don't think it should be counted, you know. But I watched Bob Briggs. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
No.
Butter Makes My Pants Fall Down.
Oh, yes.
And then you know, and a few other Thomas DeLauer, the Carnivore Connect. You know, so many people there's so many people out there. You know, two people. I don't know their names. I forget. Two Crazy Ketos. I've watched them a couple times. You know, I didn't really see Dr. Baker and Dr. Chafee until later on, but I think if I did start seeing them, I think they would have been more influential. And I saw some early things of Dr. Kiltz before he had Alia and Dr. Nelson on. But yeah, so many influences. Yeah. You know, and the person that got me into you was Amy. She mentioned you in a chat on, I forget what, it might have been Bob, you know, my guest for next week's channel or whatever. It said, "Oh, we got a show," and she, you know, I looked it up and found you, and then I said hello, and that's where it came from there. You know, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I just feel like we're one great big family. You know, it's more than just a community. It's like we're all family.
Yeah. You know, and what makes it more like family too is I made mistakes. I even did a video last week about some of the mistakes I made, and I'm good now.
Mistakes.
You know, every one of us has made mistakes, and I think you know who because there's probably people that are in the carnivore world that sort of like they will criticize and they will do, and I don't really care about the criticisms, you know. But what it tells me is this. It tells me that they're not really the family that we're talking about.
Right.
You know, because if there's judgment, then they're just these people, like these distant cousins that no one even talks to, you know. And it's the ones that don't criticize, the ones that back you up, the ones that support you, that understand, and they're the ones that are family. They're not going to judge you. You know, if you hit like 5 cars, they're not going to judge you for having an accident. You know, they're not going to be like, well, you know, you make a mistake, you get deal with it, and you learn to move on. You know,
yeah.
And you know, excuse my messy hair. At least I have hair now. But so all right. So you had baby for the past 2 years.
Well, yeah, almost 2.5. Yeah.
2.5 years. Okay. Were you in the at least keto when you had baby? Like did they go hand in hand in a way or no?
It was just off and on. Sometimes it was intermittent fasting. I was always trying to diet and trying to lose weight because I knew I had to, you know, but nothing really was working. I'd get frustrated and give up. You know, if the scale didn't turn, then I'd give up. If it didn't show progress, it's like, what the heck am I doing? I would start doubting myself, you know, but I didn't realize then that the scale isn't always going to go down. It's going to go up. It's going to go up. It's going to go up. And then it might go down a little bit and then go up and then down a little bit more. I used to keep track of it on my computer and I'd see the graph going up and down, up and so I know and this is being faithful to a diet for weeks. And then you you crave something and you give in and you start, something might happen, something stressful, and you just start eating and you gain everything back and you just got to start all over again. You lose all the grounding that you did. I had no one to support me. When you got family that's like, yeah, that ain't gonna last long, you know,
Yeah.
just
I just wanted to say thank you to Terry Sue. Thank you for the compliment for my brown eyes. I appreciate it. Let me see how I current comment. Okay. And John just joined us. John, how you doing? Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know.
yeah, Amy, mine's going up too.
I have a weird question to ask
Oh, what?
because every once in a while I hear something being said, and I don't know if it's just something being said, like kind of like how I'm like Tanya's a carnivore brother, or Sandy's carnivore son. Is Mason related to you?
No.
Okay. For some reason I always thought I heard like daughter or whatever, and I just didn't know if it was a carnivore daughter or
If anything, she'd be like, maybe a sister or something. She's always got my back. She's like my stronghold when I'm feeling like I can't go on. She'll put me straight. Barbara, cut it out. Type of stuff. Uh,
and Lewis is here. So Lewis, you're never late. You're just fashionable. Okay.
and hello,
You know
Louis.
what they say, like you're never late for the party, you're just fashionable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think I mentioned it, but just in case I didn't, Helix is here. Lioness Helix
Ah.
is here. So hello, Lioness. And I saw your new video that you put out. Your short video, not really a short, but a short video. And I thought it was very good, and hopefully I gave you a good compliment on there. And I also like how you showed us how you could put your bun up and your bun up in the because I do worry about that. I always want to know, how do you do it so I can do it better myself.
Oh, you watched the twerking.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was so proud of myself that I was able to put on a different pair of pants that were uh, too small or too big, and my shirt was always too small, and I was able to wear it, and I was like, well, I'm getting skinny. I was just being all, you know, and I got a victory. I went out to dinner, and the only thing they had were booths, and I could fit in a booth. A booth.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know. I actually know how that feels. I
I
used to
could
hate
fit
to
in
sit
a
at the
booth.
booths like at restaurants and stuff, and I would
Yeah,
always,
I would turn around and leave.
because it would crush my stomach.
Yeah.
It would, like, and then one day I just sat at the booth, and because we had no choice, and my mom didn't want to leave, and I sat. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll suffer as long as can we please not take too long? And I found I had about this much room at the bench. Now I have about like closer to this.
Well, I only got about like this, but it was just
Right.
the idea that I wasn't
It'll get
all.
better. It'll get better. Don't worry about that. But still, it's still, at least you're
Yeah,
not
I
like,
didn't have to say, "Oh, we got to go. They don't have any tables."
it's like like where you have to like breathe in and stay that way.
I couldn't even do that. There was no doing that. There was no trying to. You just did not fit. Well, I should say, I just did not fit.
Yes. I am staying away from the chocolates, Uncle Charlie. Don't worry about that. Mistakes happen, and normally I can have. I don't know what gave me the discontrol. I guess the stress just got way too much for me, and but usually I can just go down there. My sugars are low. I just have like a Oreo or a nonpareil or something like that. I've told that story before 1,000 times. But just the past couple of days, I just kind of like, I don't know if depression hit me or if whatever, it's just, I think sometimes it's not even depression, or I think it's sometimes you're like, you know what, I want this, I want this, I want this. And you just kind of keep on going, and you try to do like one of everything, and,
I
so
think
I
we
got out of
we get to a place where we just let our guard down.
Right. And after 1 year and 1 month, maybe that was just my thing, and, but now I'm good, and everything. And, I mean, today I had a little bit of cheese. My sugars went down pretty fast. I got to start figuring out my insulin, because it seems like every time I take insulin, it seems my sugars drop. It's like it's at like a certain level, like 160, and then, or 170, whatever. And then I take the insulin, and I take less each time, but I take the insulin, and then when I get to work, it drops like immensely. And, I think it's just a matter of like, just feeling things out, I mean, it might be a good thing. It just might show that I don't need it as much.
Yeah.
But my biggest fear though is, okay, if it's at 180 and I don't take the insulin and it goes up, I'm trying to keep it from going over 200, because I don't want the A1C to go up again. And I want to keep that. I want to bring that A1C down. And even though insulin resistance is important, I really agree with that. A1C is really important to me too. And that's the one thing I got disappointed in when my A1C went up, because I was like, all right, I get the insulin resistance is important, but can we do it without sacrificing my A1C? Can we keep my A1C down and also get rid of the insulin resistance and get it to where we can bring it down completely? And that's the part that I got a little disappointed with, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
But now, according to my thing, it's going down, and I'm not even sure what my sugars are now. Well, they're high now. They're 220 now. So I haven't taken anything. So, and I did eat right before coming, before doing this. I had a little something. So, not right before, but like a couple hours before. So it should be starting to go down, but I don't know. Maybe I'll take something when I get off with you, or go downstairs and go for a walk. One of those things. So I'm sorry, I went over to myself. I apologize on that.
You're good.
Of course I am. You're here. So we have 27 people watching right now. I don't have YouTube open up, so I don't know how many likes I have. So, but anybody that did like this show, thank you. I appreciate it. And just in case you guys are wondering, I'm actually on StreamYard right now. I'm not on the ENVUX. I graciously got, I'm being helped with that by Adrian Gledhill and Krista and Ellie from Linus Lifestyle. They're actually letting me use their StreamYard and share it with them that they use for theirs. So thank you, ladies, for including me in with your thing, in with your group. And we just did some tweaks and made it into mine. So two things I have different is I have my little logo in the corner right above Barbara, where there's no duck, just the logo, and Barbara gets hold on to it and do the other arm, and then I have here the scan code for Buy Me a Coffee. So if anybody wants to buy me a coffee, I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys even being here completely, and I'm sure Barbara completely appreciates it too. And then I also have a new wallpaper, which I'm going to get rid of me. And I got my characters from my drawing, from my book. So these are different characters from my book for one of my wall art.
Nice.
So I just thought I'd show it off a little bit and see. Now, one of the good things about having StreamYard is I don't know how long StreamYard lasts. So I'm not getting the 2 o'clock timer anymore. So I don't know. I'm not getting the, it's like you have 5 minutes to close down. I'm not getting that. So thank you, Debbie. I thought it looks pretty good.
Oh, Debbie's here.
And Janet, Juju says I'm a great artist. Thank you. And a lot of us are pretty good, talented at something. I mean, look at Lewis. He's the cat whisperer. And Gramma does beautiful crochets. So what was probably the one crochet piece that you've done that took the longest?
I did it was a blanket of the Wildflower Oasis from Juan the Yarn Addict. It was like a crochet along. He would release a certain amount in a week for like 8 weeks. That thing took me months. It was so involved. I don't have it anymore. I gave it away as a gift. But
You wish you had it? Do you wish you had it though?
yes, because she ended up giving it to her daughter. If I wanted her daughter to have it, I would have given it to her daughter. I wanted my friend to have it. So I thought that I put a lot of work into that. I wanted my best bud to have it, but that is.
And my mom made a crocheted for my sister, and my sister ended up keeping it, like putting it in the basement, like in the corner of the floor. And it was like, I worked hard on that, and like,
Yeah.
So speaking of quilts, I told you I was going to show you the quilts that my mom made me. So I'm going to show you them. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
As far as the other side of the room. So I'm going to turn off my background. All right. Did I turn it off? No, I didn't.
No.
There we go. Okay. I'm going to turn it off because if I have that on, then I'm going to have to bring it right up to the camera. I don't think you want to go that far up to the camera. Okay, so this is the first one. This is an identical one to what my sister had in her. Oh, excuse me, I'm tripping over my own feet. So this is one.
Oh, okay.
All right.
It looks like a granny.
Yeah, I think so, right? That's the wider holes.
Yeah.
And then now most of them are really small. I guess they're like, but this one's my baby one.
Yeah, I like that one. That's pretty. Is that your baby one?
That's my baby one.
It's still in such pretty condition too.
Yeah, well, we take care of our stuff. All right. Let me pull my pants up because they're falling down.
That's what happens when you're a carnivore. Your pants don't want to stay up. That's what happened to me the other day. I was walking along. I had my cup and my plate in my hand, and I'm walking to the table. I could feel my pants starting to slide, and I was like trying to get to the table. I didn't make it. My pants fell to the floor around my ankles just before I got to the table.
That's what I do. I thought it was a pretty orange.
Yes.
It's not, like I said, it's not that big, but it's, at least put over your shoulder or whatever,
Granny's a very, very old stitch. It's been around forever.
Yeah. Well, she said it's always easier for her.
Yeah.
She did not do this, but this was gifted to her when she was done.
Oh,
when she was in from somebody from hospice, which I thought was really nice of them. And then this one.
Yeah. Did she make these?
Yeah, she made the rest of them. She made.
Nice. She's like me. I love my square
And then this one.
Nice. I like that one too.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I don't have any more. She gave, like, just like you, she gave a lot of hers away and stuff like that. But those are the ones I grabbed. I grabbed from her.
Now you're adding more memories to her memory blankets.
Yes. And she's done a few quilts too. There's actually a quilt. There's a thing out. I don't really feel bringing the computer out, but she did a full quilt. But somebody actually made a good point that clothing is like so thin now, and she did a quilt made out of all my old clothes and old fabrics. When I say old clothes, I mean like my Boy Scout and Cub Scout bandana.
Oh, okay.
I
always wanted to do stuff like that.
My old pajamas when I was like 5, stuff like that. And she
do you remember wearing them when you look at the quilt? Do you actually remember?
I actually remember them. Yeah, I remember them. And you just put my background back in because I like it. And okay. So yeah, she did that, but it was just very flimsy on the for the blanket. Like, it was really good, but it just wasn't as good as her crocheting. And so I ended up having to take it apart and cut it into a big square, and I put it into the background of a picture frame.
Oh, okay.
And then I did like a whole new thing where she used to my niece, when they were kids, they each have like a picture of them going like this, their ears, or like this. And I got them to do it again years later. Like, they were like really, really young, like 4 and 2, doing this. And then at the age of like 16 and 18, I got them to do it again. And I made up a story about, because she used to say, I'm going to box your ears. My grandfather used to say it too. And I made up the story, which is kind of a sad thing. I made up the story where, grandma told the kids, we're going to box you in the, and it's like, this big long thing and everything like that. So someday I'll actually read it to everybody. And my sister, she was like, that's not why they did it. They did it for, and I'm like, Carrie, it's a story. Like, why would, like, your mom is sick. Why would you have to why would you have, even my niece was like, why would you have to ruin the story?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, my sister wasn't thinking, she was just thought she was doing the right thing. And it's like, let my mom think that she's like doing this great big thing. The kids get it. But so Carnivore Jerry's saying, hey there, Georgie guy, and she's using music. So I don't know if she's singing while saying it to George or whatnot. But
yeah, a couple of people are saying Georgie.
Georgie pudding pie. Kissed the girls and made them cry. How much did you weigh in high school?
I'm going to say around probably 210. Mm-hmm. 210, 220 maybe.
I don't know how much.
I was chubby in school, always on a diet. I didn't have friends.
I don't know if I don't know. Yeah, it's probably about 210 to 220 when I was in high school. And then I shot up like to 379 after high school.
When after all my kids were born, and I just divorced or left my first husband, I did go on the Susan Pewter Stop the Insanity diet, where
okay.
fat free, and I got
that Susan Powell.
Power, yeah.
Yeah.
I read her book and everything, and so I did her diet, and I really did get down to like a size 12, which I was like about maybe 130 160, 170, but I was walking 5 miles a day. Well, every other day, walking 5 miles every other day. I was, really determined I was going to lose weight. But as soon as that stopped, boom, right. And then it just never stopped. From that point on, it just never stopped. I was eating potatoes, potatoes, and more potatoes.
It's weird how there used to be a potato diet. I forget who it was that actually did that, and they actually lost. I mean, I think
Yeah, because
diet,
there's no fat in
you can actually
potatoes.
lose weight if you actually do the diet. It's just a matter of staying with it. That's the
Yeah.
problem. Like I don't think anything's really forever, but I think things are a lot more sustainable than other things, if that makes any sense. Matter of fact, didn't you may or may not know this, but I think Penn from Penn and Teller went on the potato diet, and that's how he lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know it was low. I thought it was low carb, but I know it's a diet that everyone frowned
For
upon.
some reason, potato comes into my brain.
Yeah, it could have been the potato.
Yeah. It could have still been low carb, but if it was only potato, that might be what he meant by low carb. Like he just, ate like everything potato, mashed potatoes.
But there's a ways of going around taking some of the starch out of potatoes.
Yeah.
And I can't remember all the tricks that I used, but I played around with all those tricks. So
But something tells me he actually went off it after a while and changed things around.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's lost like over 200 pounds.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight. He actually looked a lot like when he lost the weight, he looked a lot like my old boss from the tuxedo company.
Jelly Roll is another one that's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah. Lizzie actually, and welcome Lizzie. I just know she lost a lot of weight and did the potato diet before finding carnivore. Lost 40 pounds in 6 months. Yeah. So I think most diets do work. I think it's just a matter of whether or not they can be sustained. And I don't think
here's the thing that because like I said, I've been doing diets all along. If you are eating carbs and you eat low fat, like under 10 grams of fat a day, you're going to lose weight.
Right.
If you do the opposite, you bring your carbs down under 10 and you eat mostly fat and protein, then you're going to lose weight.
Right.
But the thing is if you stop either or, you're going to gain it right back. But the other thing is fat's not as bad to your body because that's what we anciently should be eating, but carbs will kill you.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to do? Both will get you to lose weight, but one's going to cause you to have all kinds of inflammation, diabetes, Alzheimer's, all kinds of stuff, cancers.
Jerry, I don't know about Grandma, but I do not know if he did GLP-1 jelly roll. I have no idea.
Oh yeah, I don't know either. I haven't heard that. I've heard that he is on a low carb diet, but he eats carbs too. And
if you're on a low carb diet, then you're still eating carbs.
Yeah, he's still eating carbs. But he has a dietitian that travels with him that does all of the cooking, everything, handles every bit of food.
What makes it easier?
Yeah. So if you've got someone that's got that control and you're not dependent on yourself to order quick meals, then I would lose weight too, probably a lot quicker.
And Tammy, as a joke, says Jelly Roll lost a lot of weight very quickly, so he definitely cheated with all his money. LOL. Yeah. I mean, if he had a personal chef, that helps.
Yeah, he was bragging one day on some news thing that he brings with him his own private chef to do all.
The only way to help is the chef cooking the wrong food. Like how how some foods just aren't working. How like I went carnivore to help me with my diabetes and to help me even though I still have some issues, it's still the journey that I think is still the best for me. Same with you. And, some people think being a vegan is the best thing to be. Great for them,
They need to do them. I just know
But-
I can't do it.
But if like, again, carnivore helped me from my situation. If being a vegan helps some people, again, great for them. Then if being carnivore helps him and he's getting a low carb diet and the chef is making him low carb foods and doing everything the way it's supposed to be with no seed oils, none of this, then he's getting all that help and he's not really having to even think about it. He just eats and that's it. But if he values being more of a vegetarian, and whatever diet it is, if it's helping him lose weight, then that's even better. If the diet the chef's cooking for him, even no matter what, then it's really up to how it turns out for him, And it seems like the chef is doing a good job. And
Well, he's more than a chef. He's like his health coach.
well, either way,
Yeah. So it's a chef, health coach, and like the exercise. It helps him with his exercise plan. So he's like an all-in-one.
Right.
And,
And obviously, the guy knows what he's
but
doing.
can you imagine having a full-time always with you?
Well, with the nutritionists I had to deal with, no, because I'd rather not have them.
I know, right?
Most of the nutritionists I worked with don't know anything about anything.
Oh yeah, the ones I've been to don't know either. Telling me to eat a half of.
I could see if like the nutritionists were like very healthy, not very many carbs, but like any carbs I have would be like more like natural vegetables and like from the garden and stuff like that, and just like and balanced diet and all that stuff, and realize that seed oils are no good for you, that you don't do chemical planted nonsense and everything, then I'd be like, okay, even if we're not thinking the same thing, you're still in the right track, But when somebody tells you to eat pancakes or eat rice and you tell them you're low carb and they're like, well, you can still have the pancakes and still have the rice, right? Well, were you not listening?
My husband,
I don't want them to be my permanent.
He'll cook, he'll add all this stuff in it and then try to tell me there's no carbs in it. And I look at it, it's like, Ron, there's all kinds of carbs in this. Don't tell me it. I won't eat it. At first I felt like I was obligated to eat it. Now I just tell him no. I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah, it's amazing how.
But they don't know.
People just don't know. This week alone, okay, when my sugars went down, the first thing people told me is, well, you should have some orange juice. I'm like, do you know how much sugar is in orange juice?
Yes, one of the worst things you can.
I'm better off having a nonpareil or an Oreo cookie, because orange juice would like quadruple my sugar, like within seconds. I'm not saying I'm good. I should have the other either. But if I'm going to have a choice, I'd rather have that than the orange juice. The orange juice is just going to do nothing but like plummet my sugars to like 500, and but they right away, my roommate used to be like, yeah, I have, like I need orange juice. I'm like, why do you need orange juice? Finally, he doesn't have orange juice anymore. He doesn't even buy. He'll get it maybe when he goes to the restaurant, but he doesn't get it at the house. But I have changed him a little bit. Like he used to defend margarine all the time. He used to be like, margarine's the best stuff to have. It's more healthy than butter. I'm like, are you sure about that? So now he's more like just doesn't have anything, but he doesn't even like want margarine anymore.
Yeah, I stopped eating margarine years ago when they said it was like one chemical away from being plastic or
my old boss told me that one time, and that's what scared me away from it.
Yeah. So it was like, oh God. And that was the last time
And I have like a very weird way of thinking. And as soon as he said that, a few days later, I started thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, it's one chemical away from being turned to plastic, right? Well, I don't know anything about science.
yeah.
I don't know anything about biology. What if that ingredient comes from us?
Yeah. Now
What
you just ate plastic.
what if like as soon as it goes down, you digest it and it goes through and it becomes plastic in your stomach? You know,
That's weird.
that's
Now
a
that I
scary
think
thought.
about it. Yeah, because what is that one ingredient off?
Right.
And how do you get it? What if it is
What if
something
it's already in our bodies? What if it's like part of our bodies and it mixed
like
in?
iron? What if it mixes
Yeah,
with iron,
yeah. Or magnesium or like anything,
potassium,
you know.
salt?
Just anything that would, make a chemical reaction, you know. And like I'm not like well, yeah, I mean, I do agree with that, Sharon. Nonpareil is a lot smaller than an Oreo. I just making it with a size, not really, I prefer the nonpareil beef of everything because it's like that one bit of chocolate, but it's so at least I'm getting treated. But I'm trying to stay away from it for right now and keep my sugars. But when they keep on dropping, like I said before, they're dropping like really low. Like I gotta find my sweet spot. Where it's not going too high, but at the same time not dropping like crazy either. So
Yeah, it must suck trying to keep it so it's at a.
it does. And it seems like I have to keep on going lower and lower. I think now I'm at like seven units of the short.
I'm
And
still thinking it's probably proteins doing it.
yeah. And I did eat a little bit before I went to work. I had like a quarter of a steak and like 3 eggs. So I had it all cooked in lard because I have some lard left over, so I'm using the lard right now. And since I'm not doing lion diet, I'm allowed to have lard. So whether anybody says I can or not I don't care.
Hey, I would use it.
Yeah. I mean, the only time I really ever ate margarine was when we were on a budget, and because we used to get our food at the dollar store. Like I'm on a budget now, but compared to 10, 12 years ago, I was really on a budget, and I did all my shopping at the dollar store, and they didn't have butter at the dollar store, but I wanted something, so they only had the margarine. So unfortunately, when you're poor, they don't give you great food, and
Yeah,
you know.
that is a fact.
But once I started eating at Walmart, I was able to get the better butter and stuff. Yeah, Sharon, I love all three chocolates, but dark chocolate is my ultimate favorite.
Dark chocolate.
What I love in people, when I used to do keto, I used to make fat bombs, and I would take the 90% cacao chocolate, very little sugar in it, and I would take it with some peanut butter, and I would melt the peanut butter, melt the chocolate, melt it all together, and I'd have coconut oil with it and some the other thing. No, actually, I didn't do the other thing too much because it was too much money. But I do. We used to get coconut oil from the dollar store, and I would do the coconut oil, and I would do that, and mix it together, put it into little peanut butter cups, and make literally peanut butter cups, which were delicious. And I would do another one with chocolate and cream cheese, and that came out really good. But it was always dark chocolate with the two. It was really good. And there was another time too where I did sugar-free jelly, and I made the peanut butter cups but I like poured a little bit, put the jelly in the middle, and then put it in there and put it in the refrigerator and made like peanut butter cups about this thick. And the fat bombs, and they probably were better than the ones that you get from the grocery store that's already done, because there's no sugar added or anything, just what was in the peanut butter basically. So, but sort of miss them. Peppermint oil works amazing. Yeah, those excrements or whatever you call them. Yeah. And I used to also use too. What I used to do is I used to take cream cheese, the block of cream cheese, and I would cut them into little like triangles, like rectangles, and I would pour either cinnamon on it or everything bagel seasoning, and I would have that, and it tasted just like having an everything bagel with cream cheese.
Oh, sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, Terry's telling me we go to Amazon Prime. Go
Okay.
make a playlist. Yeah, right now there's 3 songs out, but come Tuesday and then every day after, more and more are going to be added until by the end of next week, there'll be probably right around 30 songs. Because I got to make a new thumbnail for every single song. And that's what's taking up my time right now is making all these thumbnails. Because they have to be sized at a certain size. And the ones from YouTube that I make, they're too small. So I have to do a totally different. So every thumbnail, before I can put it up, I'm planning on having hundreds.
Well, make sure everybody to check out Grandma's.
Oh, but do know that anything that comes, whether it's I get like, what was it, a 0.5% for every time someone watches or listens to a song, but also whatever comes from purchasing the song for Healing Humanity all goes towards that project. I don't keep any of that. That all goes to Carrie Mann's Healing Humanity project. So if anything, go listen to that one. So that
who's asking the question? It went just by super fast. Oh yeah, what Debbie's asking? What do we search for on Prime for music? I found it by searching music written by Barbara Touche. It's pretty much spelled touch with an E at the end.
Yeah, touch, just touchy. TOUCHY, Barbara. And it'll bring up all the songs.
With a Y, I'm sorry, I said E, but I meant Y.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's actually pronounced touche, isn't it? Or no? Or touchy?
Yeah, it's pronounced touche, but I'm so used to everyone just pronouncing it touchy because that's what it looks like, touchy.
Well, it does. It does, But I just want to make sure I got it.
Yeah. And it's going to take up to, like, it said 1 to 5 days. So now it's like 4 days before it gets to all the different channels. But it's supposed to be on IHOP. No, what is it called?
IHOP, is it the pancake place?
No, I meant iHeartRadio, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube, Pandora, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, the list is just enormous. Well, you can't see it. And so that should be within a week. Let's just say within a week. But so did Amazon say within a week, and it only took them about 2 hours last night.
I was going to say IHOP. Boy, that doesn't really sound very carnal.
I know. I meant iHeart.
I was just joking. Yeah, I had to have my fun somehow.
And I don't know about out of the United States. So if anyone that's in other countries can let me know if they're seeing any of it, because I know, like Amazon in other countries, it's different.
If George is still here, maybe he can answer that question. Right?
Yeah, because Spanky too is out of the country. I just don't know how it goes in all the other countries.
I'm on a whole different planet, but I get it. George says that he had a comedy character called I gotta put this on the thing. Hyacinth Bucket Het in the UK. She insisted it was pronounced bouquet.
So bucket was bouquet.
Bucket with bouquet.
That's what
It's like on Target. I'm running to Target. Okay.
I never heard of the show.
And Lisa said she was born in 71, which means, Lisa, you're only a year older than I am.
Yes, I have steadfast heard touchy feely. As a matter of fact, when I worked in the OR, when someone at the nurse's station wanted to get in touch with me, that's what they would yell over the intercom. Touchy feely. You need it at the nurse's station.
So, okay, so I'm asking weird questions because aside from Terry Girl, no one else is asking questions, people. Barbara is pretty smart, so and you have to ask questions for baby, like what baby's platform is and stuff. What is not carnivore? Because I don't find carnivore be a weird diet. I don't find carnivore to be a diet. But what is the weirdest diet that you've ever been on, other than?
I've been on the cabbage soup diet.
So was I.
You too.
Yeah, I didn't last very long on that, but
I think I lasted maybe a week. Hey, that got old fast. I think it was because of all the gas. The potato diet, the no fat diet, Weight Watchers. I mean, I've been on so many. The one where you have to order your food each month. I was on that one where it comes through.
Oh, the Nutrisystem.
Yes, the Nutrisystem. But
yeah, I was on that too. It did.
I was on those.
I didn't last with that one because I ordered the food, I got the food, but then
It was
I'm looking at it,
nasty
like
shit.
you still need to order you still need to order your vegetables and your fruit.
Yes, and they were expensive.
And I'm thinking, like, this is a $300 a month order. Actually, it's $500 because I did it for two people. It wasn't just me, and my mom did it too. And it was about $500 for that month, and we had to put it in the freezer and everything like that. And then they're telling us to buy all the other stuff, like eggs and stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, that's another $100 at this minimalist. That's another $100 a month.
Yeah, I only did it for like 2 months, and then I was like, no more. I
did it for and just like let it finish. I didn't lose any weight. If I did, it was very little. Gemma says that she asked the question and I missed it, so I'm trying to go back and look and see if I can find it. I do apologize, Gemma. If it's something you could ask again, I'd love to be able to have Barbara answer the question, because Barbara is here to answer questions.
I also did Rocking with the Oldies there.
Okay. Do you remember Deal a Meal?
Yes, I remember Deal a Meal. Tell you, that's why I said I don't want to do anything where I have to, measure. I don't want to do anything that has to do with counting calories. I don't want to do any of that. I want to be able to just live my life with food. Richard Simmons, yes. I did him too, and I'd be doing all those exercises.
Rocking to the oldies. And...
Yes. Now I didn't.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Okay, so Here's a trivia question for everybody. And tell me if you know it in the chats. Gemma, if you can ask that question again, that'd be great. Oh, did I just see it? Okay. Here it is. It was is baby running for mayor? LOL. Yes.
Mayor of the house, she's already got the position.
Yes. She rules the roost. Okay, so new comment. And
Oh,
Gemma
yeah.
mentions about Slim Fast. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Slim Fast used to be a class, according to my grandmother at one time, and then it became where it had its own stuff.
Yes.
And I remember
I got-
doing the drinks and
Yes.
all that stuff.
Yeah. I did that for maybe a couple of days. I didn't like the drinks. You replace the breakfast with a Slim Fast drink, and Grandma's story about babies. Oh,
is heartbreaking. Yes.
yes. Well, I was having a hard time walking, and this is right when we first moved here, and I had to have all kinds of care. I was 400 pounds plus, and my daughter was taking me somewhere, and on the road there was someone selling one of those buggies where you can for disabled people, so that I could still go do things if I wanted to do things. I'd have my own buggy to get around the yard and stuff like that. Well, the old man comes out and says, we got to talking, and he's saying, my son is giving away tiny Chihuahua puppies, and of course free. And I said, oh, I want one. Where? And he told us where to go, the address, and we went, and it was horrible, horrible conditions. Baby was in a box, not a crate, but a cardboard box that was infested with bugs. There was 7 other chihuahuas about her size in this box, and it was not a very big box. They were all squished together in their own urine, their own poop. The food was just sprinkled in there, so they were all like scavenging because he threw a cup of food in there. It was just so nasty. It was so bad that I couldn't even get up there to look. I had to quickly back away because the smell was unbelievably bad. Altogether, there was 8 in that box, and they had put a male in a different box that was getting the other one pregnant. And my daughter, I said, just reach and pick the smallest one, because the smallest one I figured needed the more help, being the runt. And so that she pulled out baby, gave her to my husband because I couldn't stand the smell of her. She was so bad. We ended up giving her quite a few baths when she got to the house. By the end of that day, all of those dogs found homes. We called around, we spread the word, we put it on Facebooks and everything, found homes for all 8 of those dogs that were left. But yeah, we had to take it to the vet and everything, get her all of her shots. It was just, but the smell lingered on her for so long. But we just kept bathing her every day.
All right. So I just put up Jerry's question. Thank you. I forget who mentioned that Jerry asked the question. I think it was DS11, but I'm not sure. So if I missed that, I apologize. But what is your favorite recipe you've ever made that has more than 3 ingredients? And to make it easier, you don't have to necessarily be carnivore. It could just be your favorite.
No, it is
good. I mean, it's even better, but I just didn't want to pressure.
And that's anything to do with chowders. I love fish chowders where you just throw in a whole bunch of different chowders. But one of the things I like doing with my chowders is I like to drop an egg before you put the milk in. Or not the milk, but the heavy cream, and make it so it's like an egg drop soup. And then I take hard-boiled eggs and I cut those up as well. And I call it my egg drop soup, but I call everything egg drop soup because it can also be chicken. But my favorite would be the seafood, where it's clams and crab and shrimp and cod cut up, and just load that baby up. And yummy. Now I want some. Then you put in butter.
Thanks, Jerry. Just made Grandma hungry.
Gotta make it again.
Let's see if I see any good comments here. Yeah, I mean, the cabbage soup diet was a really crazy diet because it's like let's invent something that makes you not only crap but have diarrhea for
Yeah, and severe cramps. I had such severe pain every single day with the diarrhea, and I said, I can't do this. I just can't do this.
and what was it was correct me if I'm wrong on this. It was cabbage soup
Yeah,
and green beans, right?
I did it with carrots.
Okay, but for some reason, green beans came into
It's
my
possible.
grandmother did it too, and I think she did it with green beans. Because carrots, I don't know, carrots can be a little sweet.
Carrots is a root, and you shouldn't have any root vegetables. But
Right. I mean, carrots were probably carrots are nice and sweet, so you probably had just like people love corn because corn actually has a sweet texture to it.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
didn't use corn in mine, but
No,
I
I'm saying a lot of people
put
like
in
my
a bone.
roommate loves corn.
I used to put in a bone, so like a ham bone in it
Okay.
with the cabbage and the carrots.
Well, you also too when you think of cabbage, you think of corned beef and cabbage for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
So Jerry's asking, Barbara, and this is really important because it's a 7Q question. What is your favorite carnivore recipe that is more than 3 ingredients other than a Powerball and go?
I just said it.
Yeah,
It's
Jerry, where were you? I mean, Powerball probably is a pretty good.
I have a Powerball at least 2-3 times a week. It's one of my go-tos. Because who can afford steak every night, ribeye, right?
Right.
I
And
can.
then DS says Thomas's cartoon character is more accurate than the one Mitch uses. Thank you. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Chowder.
Chowder. I was going to say you probably like chowder because you like to say the word chowder. Chowder. Am I right, Barbara? That you just like to say the word chowder?
I love chowder. I
You
love all
chowder?
chowders. You don't know where I'm from by saying chowder? I just yesterday I wrote a song on Maine actually. That'll be posting soon. How I miss Maine.
All right, and then this is a thing. Aaron Booby Goats is saying my sister would eat a whole 6-pack of Activia, and then she would eat a whole thing of all wheat spaghetti.
Oh.
And wondered why she had toilet issues.
Ugh.
A lot of people do. And then Jerry wants to make sure that we know that she eats dog food.
Yeah, but her dogs eat real human food.
Yeah.
But carnivore.
But even if they didn't, I'm not saying I wouldn't be shocked that Jerry ate dog food. I'm not saying that's how I think of Jerry. But my grandfather ate dog biscuits and my best friend in high school ate dog food. So it wouldn't surprise me if anybody said to me, hey, yeah, I've had dog food. I'll be like, okay. Doesn't seem to be something I want to have, but if that's what you want, then go for it,
It's just it's worse than prison food.
Yeah. I mean, I have had the Milk-Bone dog cookies. Like I've taken a bite out of it. I haven't had it. I didn't eat the whole cookie, but I did take a bite out of it. And to me, it tastes like a very, very strong oatmeal cookie. Like those really powerful.
Yeah.
And Jemit's asking a question. So Jemit, I'm going to put it up on the thing. Barb, is your family carnivore? If not, do you ever get tempted? Well, we sort of already know that they are pretty much giving her a hard time right now for being
not carnivore. But
so I would have to say no.
Yeah, there's out on the counter out there. There's bread, there's donuts, there's rolls, there's all kinds of things in the cupboards. Is all kinds of things. I don't even put my food in the cupboards. But I got my own food right here. I got behind my chair is my sardine cans. My tuna fish cans. I have my pork rinds on my desk. I don't even mix my food in the kitchen. So I'm not ever tempted. I have to go out there and cook my steaks or whatever from the freezer, but I don't go in the pantries at all. There's no reason to, because there's nothing in there that I'm going to have. So everything I have is in my room. But if I cook for the family, I only cook the carnivore meats. If they want anything else, they're on their own.
Well, it's funny is like in the beginning, my roommate wasn't like he made the mistakes and everything like that, but I was always afraid to bring the food in. I tried making where he was full carnivore, at least while I was home, and then when he went out, then he would. But then he really wanted the vegetables and stuff like that, and so it ended up I gave in to him because it's not his diet, it's my diet, and it's not, it's like it'd be nice if you could learn how to cook, but it is what it is. So, but this he actually listens to. I said to him, just don't offer me anything. Don't ask me if I want to have something, because it puts into my brain that now I have the obligation to have it. Where it sounds stupid, but if I just think to myself, like, this is your food, then I'm not going to eat your food, because to me, it's like stealing. It's like, I'm not going to just take your food. So if you don't give me permission, then I'll never eat it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people don't realize that they think that offering you the food, they're being nice. And it's like, okay, if I don't eat potatoes, don't offer me potatoes. If I don't eat, carrots, don't offer me the carrots, don't even offer me any of your food. I will supply my own food, and then that's it, And if I do need something, like I knew his eggs were going to go bad if we wait until he got home to have them. So I was like, okay, do you mind if I take your eggs and I'll replace them? He's like, that's no problem. So, like we have those kind of agreements, but he doesn't go to me and be like, hey, if you want half a can of the corn, you could have the other half of corn and we could share it. And like, no, don't even do it. We'll just cut your corn in half and just give you half a can each time you eat. That's it, And
in my head, what I try to do is I tell myself why I don't touch any of that stuff. It's simple. I tell myself, if I eat it, I will die.
Right.
If I eat it, I will die. If I have to have a strong why. My why is, if I eat it, I'll die. I'll end up in this chair back 6 months ago facing death. And that's a real strong reason not to be eating that stuff out there. So I can tell them till I'm blown in the face that you're going to die eating that stuff. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. But I know for me personally, I eat it, I die. Period. Because once I start, I won't stop.
Yeah, well, one thing that works for me is I say the same thing, but some people a little bit more dogmatic, a little bit more like, oh, carnivore's going to kill you, just like you have with your family and stuff like that. But what I say to all people, and they listen, they're like, well, don't you like this? Don't you love this? Like, I'm like getting rid of a child or something like that, like I'm giving up a child for adoption, But I say to them, I love it. Like, I don't lie. I don't say, oh, I hate the stuff anymore, because it's not true. I still love chocolate. I still love French fries. I still love all this stuff. But I tell them, I said, it doesn't like me.
Yeah. It's like being allergic, severely allergic.
Yeah. It's like the wicked witch. It's like that wicked witch with Hansel and Gretel, that like brings you in and then tries to kill you, and
it's like you've already had your limit of all that stuff in your life. That's it. You've hit your limit.
Right.
You can't have any more because you're going to get real sick. They haven't hit their limit yet. Eventually, they're going to hit that wall too.
Yeah.
And they don't want to listen to you, but eventually they're going to get to that wall. They're going to hit it hard. And then they're going to come to you and say, how can I change it?
I agree with that, but the thing is many people don't know they hit that limit, and
They have to fall into that dark hole, that dark
right.
place.
Well, it makes you kind of wonder. It makes you kind
And
of
then
wonder.
they still may not look.
Like as much as we went through the health issues and as much as we went through all this stuff, okay, there's in a way, are we not the lucky ones because we did hit that wall, we saw what it's doing to us, and we were able to get the picture. You got a lot of people out there that don't even realize things are happening to them.
Well, look at the wall you hit.
Yeah. But no, I'm just saying, like, a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, you hit a strong wall. It stopped you dead in your tracks.
Right. Well, so did
You end up,
you both did,
It's the same thing with me. I couldn't walk. I was in pain constantly. I mean, it hits you hard once you hit that wall.
Right.
And you're looking at, do I continue on and die? Or do I smarten up my life, smarten up and face it head on and make the changes you need to change?
Yeah.
You, Thomas, decided, I'm going to fight. You were looking at that wall and you decided you was going to fight. Yeah, you might fall now and again, but you're fighting. You got back up and you're fighting.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. They've just accepted their fate, and
you just have to keep on talking. You just have to keep on moving on. And
yes, you got to move.
You make the mistake. You make the mistake, and in a way, I did that video the other day because I want people to realize that we're all human, that we all make mistakes, and that we shouldn't be punishing ourselves and we should be punishing each other. And I had such great responses from people. I think about 100% were good responses, and if not 199% at least. And it's just sometimes you want to tell the truth. And, the thing is, my channel is not about my carnivore diet. My channel is not about my diabetes. My channel is about my journey on how I'm getting myself better. It includes diabetes, includes carnivore, it includes all about me. It includes, because I was such secluded for the longest time, for years. And even before all this happened, I was never really out there or anything like that. And
because of that, Thomas, is why you couldn't succeed before.
Right.
And because you opened up your life, your world, and accepted us, you're able to move on just like me. Because no one outside, they all tell us we're crazy. So we give up before we could even stand up for ourselves. Yeah. And here we can be strong with each other. We need each other.
It's true, and I know I'm not really doing that much content right now. I'm doing as much as I can, but I'm trying to go out there as much as I can. But I'm just trying to get myself, just to clear my head, just get some things in.
All over the place.
I just don't really have any videos anymore. It's just I've run out of like thunder, so to speak. It's not that I don't have any interest. It's just nothing's coming to my head. If something comes into my head, then I'll do. But you can only do so many exercise videos. You can only do so many.
That's why I don't pick a topic.
Yeah, if something comes to the moment, I'll do it and everything. And but I do my lives. I value my lives. We all know that. I mean, they're my reason for being. And I always want people to come on. I'm pretty booked up because I'm only doing once a week right now. But just. And Terry Girl makes a good point. The chatters give you the topics. Yes, and you do,
That's what happens in mine. I go live every night. And it's you coming up on the channel and you keep the chat going. It's Terry when she comes up. It's Jerry when she comes up, and Amy. Everybody talks and chats, and they just need a place to hang out and be with like-minded. We don't have to have a topic, just a place.
Yeah, and Tammy says that Tammy Goff. She says that she's lost weight in the past on other diets, but I never got better. Carnivore has healed so much, lost 3 pounds in January, listening to my body. The whole priming thing is BS. Don't do it. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to say not to do it because some people do
I don't
believe.
understand what priming. What's
Priming is a program with
that we eat up on carbs?
Steak and Butter Gang, Bella. Her channel, she does a thing called priming where you actually eat more and you get more nutrients into your body. So then you have more ability to actually fast and stuff like that. It's pretty much like getting your body prepared for it. Some people love it. Some people, I don't really have an opinion about it. I never really gave it a full shot. I did for like 1 week and that was it.
They do the same thing when you're eating carbs. They'll say eat up on carbs once a week. Pick a day.
Well, yeah, no, this would still be carnivore. You'd still be eating carnivore food, but you'd be eating 3 meals a day instead of 2 meals a day. Yeah. And you would slowly like get yourself into what's called a rolling 48, where it's you'd fast for 48 hours and you would eat for 2. Then you would fast for another 48 hours and everything like that. I have nothing against priming. I just don't think it necessarily works for everybody, if that makes any sense.
See, I don't do that because I used to have an overeating problem, and that would just cause me to overeat. So
that would probably be.
I want to try to keep it as normal as possible.
Yeah.
Whatever
right now,
normal is.
I'm just doing 2 MAD for the most part, but every once in a while I am. But I get where you're coming from, Tammy, and it doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah, everyone's different. Everyone's different. They got to do what their body tells them is good. It's just that would be good for me. It would cause too many other issues.
Well, I mean, the thing I worry about with priming is this. When I first did the priming, what got me worried, and it just didn't work out for me, is because my sugars were already at that time were about 250. They weren't low yet. They were still pretty high. And then they had me priming. Now, when you're eating all this extra food,
yeah, it's got to go up more.
When it's all carnivore, the sugars go even higher. So it didn't help me bring down my A1C at the time. Now, once the priming was over and I was able to go back to normal, then my sugars went down, and eventually went to where now my highest is about 180. For a while there was more like 120. Just whenever I get sick, it always goes a little higher.
And this is why these types of things isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
Because for you, where you're trying to get your diabetes under control, something like that isn't going to work for you because of all the protein that turns into glucose and everything spikes. Doesn't work for you. It might work for me if I wanted to do it, but then I have emotional things where I like to overeat. That was one of my problems. I could sit down and eat a whole family bag of potato chips if I wanted to. I don't want to overeat ever. I'm trying to look at my plate and have normalcy. Trying to.
Okay, so Terry Girl asked us 2 questions for me, but you could answer these questions too. Or you don't have to answer these questions. I'm saying you're allowed to. She's asking me, how much do I weigh right now? According to my last measurement, according to the Smart Scale, but I don't think the Smart Scale works fully correctly because I think it has 4 sensors and only three part. My body only covers 3 of them. So I think there's 1 sensor so I don't know if it's giving a really fully accurate reading, if that makes any sense. But according to the thing, I'm about 245 weight-wise. And I occasionally do the weight vest, but I haven't been walking that much. So basically I just do these weights, and I have 2 of them, and these are 5-pound weights. Now I do this, and sometimes I'll take both of them and go back here, which I'm not going to do that today because I just discovered I have a really bad pain in my arm. So I'm not going to do any weightlifting today. I must have pulled it doing the working today. Yeah, and that's another weightlifting thing I do too. Those coffee things, they can be pretty heavy when they're full. they're like another 20, 30 pounds each time. So if I'm like lifting one and lifting the other one with, like it's using my arm muscles quite a bit. So do you do any muscle building or anything like that, Barbara?
Um,
Besides picking up baby?
Picking up baby. I really don't. I do my walking when I can, and then my vibration plate, but that's about it. Um, I probably should. I do have some stretch bands somewhere, in probably this closet here that I could probably pull out and do some. But I crochet. I'm trying to pretend like crocheting is exercising.
Um, that is a pretty good compliment, Terry Sue. One night, this is how I'm looking at it. Okay. My goal is about 170, 175. However, and underline the word however, if I hit 190 and I look at myself and I'm like, I'm good, I'm not going to care about it so much. And to tell you the truth, I really don't care as much about that as much as I do about becoming insulin resistant and getting rid of my A1C, because I feel that once I don't have to have insulin anymore, most of my weight is going to start coming off. And so I'm not really.
How big was your biggest?
I was 379 is the biggest I was ever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You've come a long way. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, I can't
You
contribute.
lost a whole person.
I can't contribute carnivore for that, but yeah, I did. Okay. So Uncle Charlie is asking me, what do I do for a living? Thank you. All right. So because of me on disability and stuff like that, and not having a car, not doing the job I have, is I work at a convenience store, which, is nothing but temptation. I think about 90% of that store I think 10% of that store is edible for me. And when I was on Lion Diet, 0% was edible to me. And that might have been actually why I cheated, was because I was on the Lion Diet for almost a month. The only thing I added back in was butter. And that was like 20 days, 22 days in. And then I was strict on everything else. And I think carnivore is not a hard diet to do, but I think the stricter we become, the more restrictions we do give ourselves. And I think that sometimes you do need to have like, well, if I can't have cheese, and it's bad enough I can't do this, it's bad enough I can't do that. Now you're saying I can't have chicken. Now you're saying I can't have pork. Now you're saying I can't have, the occasional cheese, so it becomes like your brain starts thinking like there's limitations. And I think that's what happened to me for the most part. I just got so depressed by having all these limitations that I don't think Lion Diet really worked for me, because I think I do need to occasionally have the chicken. I need to have the pork, if that makes any sense, Now, do I love burgers? Do I love steak? Of course. I just want to be able to say I can have the other stuff, that I'm not restricted. And I think that for a lot of people, it works for people, but for me, it just gave me too much restriction. But to go on to Uncle Charlie's thing, so that's what I do for a living now. But for 25 years, I was the guy that measured you for a tuxedo. And Sandy is saying Uncle Charlie has a question, a QQQ. I saw that one question. I didn't see any other QQQs. If you saw one, Barbara, just let me know.
What was my biggest weight from Terry? Mine was over 400 pounds. My scale only went up to 400. And when I did the whole bill and carried, when I stepped on the scale, and like I said, it went to 400 immediately. It didn't budge under for a month on carnivore. So I'm going to say I probably was right about 410, 420.
And Uncle Charlie, I apologize for missing that QQQ question. If you could re-ask it again, that'd be great. I'm not very good that's why I have moderators. Now, something I noticed with the moderators that you brought up yesterday that I'm noticing now, I still have the wrenches. But yesterday, your people had shields.
That's because for whatever reason, when YouTube does a change, it affects my channel, one of the first ones.
Okay, so in other words, it'll eventually affect.
Yeah, eventually it's going to hit everybody. Because it was the same way with the name change, remember? It hit my channel first. And then everyone was like, it's got to be your settings. It's gotta be. And I hunted, and I found out that no, it doesn't have nothing to do with my settings. It's YouTube making changes. Yeah, I'm scrolling back, and I don't see any question.
And Jim, it's giving you and me a compliment. Thomas, you are relaxing to listen to. Please keep your lives on great guests. We love you and Barb.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Juju's a very sweet person, very sweet young lady. And oh wait, no. And Thomas, you are relaxing to listen to. Please keep lives. We love you and Barb.
She's such a sweetheart. Uncle Charlie, yes. What kind of work do you do for a living? And I think you already answered that, didn't you? And why don't you give me a wrench? You had two questions.
Do you have a channel, Uncle Charlie? Yeah, we already answered that question. Okay. If you have I'm not into the Jerry, if you can just check and see, check out Uncle Charlie's channel if he has one, and just let me know. Because I don't really have YouTube open right now. So if he has one, I'll open YouTube up and really quickly check it out. If Charlie wants to be a moderator, as long as as long as you keep it in the honor system, because I will have to send Jerry after you if that's the case. And Jerry will beat you up. Just kidding.
Yeah. I'm back. I fell asleep.
I'm sure Barb would beat you up too, but Barb would just sick baby after you.
Tuba Chad had the shields yesterday. Yeah, we did too.
It's weird though. We have like this other symbol that says an S.
Yeah, I was just noticing that.
I don't know. I'm gonna go back a little bit and see if I can find Lewis's thing. Lewis, I haven't seen Lewis since he made that couple comments, and that was it. When he said he was sorry he was late. I'm curious on seeing because I'm wondering if S stands for standard. Because Lewis is a
Wash Baby Shield. Do they haven't erased the?
Maybe. Because I think Lewis is a managing moderator. He can do a little bit more. But I can only have one managing moderator. So I would have Jerry be a manager moderator, but I don't want to take it away from Lewis. And Lewis has done a good job when he's here. He's just super busy, that's all. Oh, he just has the wrench. He doesn't have an S, so I'm not sure what that. That's weird. Okay. No, definitely, Uncle Charlie. If you want to be a moderator, I that'd be fine with me. Okay, but he does have a channel, Jerry.
Maybe the S means a S hit distributor.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know. Okay, good. All right.
You said I was a moderator?
Yes, you're a moderator. Do you moderate very well?
No. Yeah, it's what it is it's the star. It's the star for how long you've been a member. You know, the little star. That's what
Right.
that S is. Because when you look at it at YouTube, it's how long you've been a member. I hope that. Now on YouTube, I'm seeing a shield, but yet on this, it's a wrench.
And actually, I see Jerry with the shield too. So maybe it's only on the StreamYard that it's.
Yeah, it's only on the StreamYard. And that S symbol is just that they're a member. I don't know why it would be an S. Barbarina is not moderate. She's being threatened for intervention.
Okay. Uncle Charlie, if you really want to be a moderator, not right now, but when we're done with this, I will, I will definitely put you in as one of my moderators. And Barbara just got disconnected. So either there, Barbara jumped the ship. I don't know. So we'll wait a few minutes and see where Barbara went. Baby probably.
Yeah,
baby probably kicked you out.
Said my mic got disconnected, and all I did was refresh my screen.
Okay, well that happens. That darn refresh.
I know, right?
Running Tab says that she's making some cabbage soup.
She's gone to make cabbage soup. I wish cabbage. I love the taste of cabbage soup. It just doesn't like me.
And Terry Girl says blame it on Milton. Yes. Even though Milton's not even part of this group right now. Yes, blame it on Milton. So I don't even see Rick here. So so let's permissions. I keep on forgetting which. Just want to make sure I'm getting this in the correct thing. And settings, no. Feature eligibility. No. Okay. I'll do it later. I thought maybe I could figure it out while we were talking, but
Rick would be here. He's been
see anybody, not even you, when I go into stream, when I go into that section of YouTube.
Yeah, I don't mind moderating when I'm not being interviewed.
I wouldn't expect you to moderate. Yeah.
I got just one more Milton that I can put up, but so I got to make some more Milton.
You've done a lot of Milton.
He's just when I get into doing a lot of sad songs, like writing people's stories, especially some that they pass away at. You know, I've been doing a few of those. I need something that's comical and fun. And so Milton's been my comical fun to get me out of that sad mood.
And it's cabbage chowder. Get it right.
Cabbage chowder.
Cabbage chowder. Get it right. Cabbage chowder. You have to say with that infliction, people.
Milton's cute. Sorry, his last song, Barb, was sweet. Milton is not laughing.
Milton never does laugh. Cat. I'd be scared if Milton did laugh.
Milton's got to start stealing things and hiding them like Rick's mouse. It's got to disappear.
Yes.
Because the last video, he says, "Oh, Milton caught a mouse." And look down, it's the mouse to his computer.
Terry Girl says cabbage and ground beef and canned tomatoes, good stuff.
Oh yeah, I used to make something that was similar to that.
Yeah. I mean, I used to like stuffed peppers, which is great.
Yeah, stuffed peppers, stuffed cabbage.
I never understood how you stuff a cabbage. Peppers I could get because they're hollow, but cabbage is all leaves. So I don't know.
Yes, you just put a scoop of all that stuff that the hamburger
Oh, okay.
rice,
Well,
and
it's
then
so
you
it's so
roll it
weird.
up.
Yeah,
Roll it up like it's what do they call it?
like a burrito almost.
Yeah, like a burrito.
Okay.
I used to make them all the time. We used to call them pigs in a blanket. Don't ask me why, because you're using hamburger, not pork.
Lizzie's asking if you're Italian, and she likes your accent.
No, I come from Maine. I grew up in Maine. It's a Maine accent. I don't have an accent. Everybody else does. Just so you guys all know that. That plus, I'm 65 years old.
Well, at least you're not 96.
That's right. I'm not 96. Yeah, I'm really hoping that Healing Humanity song actually kicks off and does well, if anything.
That'd be cool if it like really, really. I mean, it'd be cool if it kicked off now, but just in time for when the movie comes out and everything like that. Kind of like give it a little bit more of a push. That'd be great. Terry Sue says, "B.S. Barb, your accent is very Maine." And somebody else in here was in here before. I don't know if she's still in here or not, but that's also from Maine. That lives in Maine now is Amy Parent. Brisket Boomers was here before.
Someone else.
But she actually I know has a pretty good story, and she was supposed to be on my channel a while back, but stuff happened, so I'd love to get her on my channel. Well, it's probably a lot of people from Maine. Oh, Jem is saying Maine like Bacon Runner. So Bacon Runner too, I guess.
Yeah, Bacon Runner. There's someone else too that's carnivore. That's also.
And I'd love to also have Donna Ray on my channel. So actually, anybody says they want to be on my channel, I would not turn them down. Unless you're doing it for a joke, then I'd be like, I don't know. Maybe. And Uncle Charlie, you will get a wrench for the next time I have my next live. Okay?
Amy does not even sound like she has a Maine accent.
No, she doesn't. At least not compared to Barbara. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's going to be like, you sound like you're from Maine. I mean, people actually commented, it was months and months ago, but they're like, you sound like you're from New York. And I'm thinking to myself, like I'm listening to myself next to Lewis, and I'm like, what?
They've actually said that to me too. It sounds like you're from New York or Boston. So maybe Boston, but
New York?
I don't hear New York when I talk.
No. DS11 says Terry Girl, Lee Kopus uses the King's English. Maybe Lee Kopus should give back the King's English and use his own.
Amy and I are
How's
Irish
that?
floozies. The floozies. Ah. Thomas has a light accent.
And Mitch has a light accent. Rick doesn't have one that I've noticed. All right. So I have a light accent, not a heavy one. Barbara, what's going on here? Barbara keeps on dropping out. And here comes Barbara again. Oh, nope, she's still disconnected. Do you think Barbara's telling us something, people? You know, you don't want to be.
It keeps saying my mic gets unplugged, and I'm like, I'm not touching anything, so I don't know how. I wonder if my internet is just being weird.
Going wacko. Well, okay, two things we just discovered. We discovered that StreamYard does allow me to go longer than 2 hours because we have been up for 2 hours and 16 minutes.
Well, there you go.
So great. Now I can do longer lives based on the person telling their story and stuff like that. Is there any part of your story that you want to tell that you haven't told at all, or because sometimes we kind of keep things suppressed and we don't think that we have enough time to tell certain things, and it's like I want to tell that, but
I pretty much covered everything, as far as like that fat tumor that I have that was about the size of a basketball. I've been dealing with other little things like that throughout my life, not that to that size, but like a thing about the size of a grapefruit that I had to have surgically removed. So there's been other little pockets. I don't know why. I guess just because you're carb eaters. So I must have just had a problem all my life with that type of stuff. But other than that, no. I think the worst thing that's even worse than being overweight was the anxiety. The anxiety for me was really, really, really super bad. Just being super fearful of everything and not daring to even move and being sick and having seizures from anxiety and that type of stuff, when all of it was all carb related. That you people really need to pay attention to mental health issues and eating sugar. That a lot of it can be cured by just going carnivore. And I now believe that. It's almost like someone turned a light switch on in my head. One day I had all this anxious, feelings, and then the next day it was like gone.
You just see this one thing that Patricia Patty is saying. Thomas, I agree. I was dying, too fat, too tired. Hurt so bad I couldn't walk more than 15 to 20 feet. Could stand at sink, stove, or online for 3 to 5 minutes before I had to set, or my body would sit me down. Yeah. And yes, Grandma is gone again. I think Grandma doesn't want to be here anymore.
I'm probably just going to keep dropping out. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, so I'm going to actually I mean, it's been pretty windy here and everything like that, so I don't know what it's like.
Yeah, it's windy here too.
Yeah. Yes, Jerry, I am a magician. I just say Alakazam and Barbara's gone. So All right. So just try to hang out.
I'll try and I'll come back if if it does it again.
But we'll end it here. Just stay tuned next week for Bob. I always forget his last name, but from Carnivore Talk. And
I like his show.
Yes, I love him too. And I think he's going to have a pretty good story to tell. And let's see if, now that I can go longer than 2 hours, let's see if Bob beats Grandma in being longer than 2 hours and 20 minutes. So, of course, Gary knows.
We do this easy on my channel. What made you think we could keep it under 2 hours on yours?
Well, because Emux would have kicked us out after like 2 hours. It's not that I think that I would be able to do 2 hours, but I had a great time. I hope that we can do this again.
I'd love to
sometime. And matter of fact, anybody that has been on my channel before, if you guys want to come on, do another interview and come on again, just feel free to email me. I know 90% of you know my email, and I'm looking forward to everybody that I'm going to be interviewing soon. And yes, Poof the Magic Thomas. Okay. So instead of Puff the Magic Dragon, Puff the Magic Dragon, and so live, love, heal, and for God's sakes, and eat the meat. All right, you guys. We'll see you later on.
Bye-bye, guys.